257 days ago, I was there in Canton, Ohio, as the 257 days ago, I was there in Canton, Ohio, as the Ironton Fighting Tigers took down the Liberty Center Tigers and won their third state title. 257 days later, we return again. Hundreds of teams across the entire state of Ohio are back, and they are ready on the road to Canton once more. I am Ethan Sargent. I am alongside Eric Landrum, and we are thrilled to be back once again for year 3 of Football Friday Kickoff. Eric, I'm feeling the energy right now. We've got the metal music in the background. We've got football on our minds. It's almost that time.
It is almost that time, and you said we got football on our minds. I think football has been on our minds for a rough 257 days, as you mentioned, since it shut down here in the 7-4-0. But we're back. We're back with a new look. We're back with a few new homes on Friday nights as well. So we're going to have a jam-packed season full of action that just so happens to be kicking off tonight in Portsmouth as the Trojans host the Sherman Tanks from Unioto. It's going to be a great night.
Well, let's actually talk about where some of our new sites are this year. Obviously, some of you will have remembered our voices from the last couple seasons. We've been on Pure Rock 105 over in Athens. We've been on Mix 96 in Jackson. We've been on Pure Rock 99.5 in Point Pleasant. We've been on Hank 100.9 over in Waverly. We've got 3 new stations
3 of them, baby,
for our coverage this year. And then, of course, an extra tidbit that I just pointed at. We'll talk about that in just a second. But we've got Light 97.5 WVNU out in Greenfield. We've got Hank 103.1 FM WAGX out in Manchester. And the boys I just mentioned, the home of the Ironton Fighting Tigers, the Eagle 106.7 FM WIRO is also hosting our Football Friday Kickoff this coverage, as well as Football Friday night this year. We cannot wait. We have got hopefully 10+ weeks of content coming for you all through the regular season and through the postseason as well. And then, of course, we started this a little bit towards the back end of last year. We're going to do it permanently now. We've got more bodies on the floor, boots on the ground with us. We've got a stream going. Say what's up to our people out there watching us on YouTube. You can see our pretty faces live, believe it or not.
This guy.
You can watch us. We're going to be on site every single week, and we will be live on YouTube as well. Total Media Sports is what you're going to want to look up, and you're going to want to take a look at our YouTube streams. And you can also find on those YouTube streams a number of games throughout the season. Eric, talk a little bit about some of the teams that we're going to see on our stream coverage this year over on YouTube with Total Media Sports.
Well, in conjunction with the radio stations, as you mentioned, you're going to see a number of different teams throughout the area on our YouTube platform. We're going to have the Jackson High School home for Jackson Athletics. The Jackson High School Sports Network is going to air on Total Media Sports YouTube, all Ironman home games there. The Eastern Eagles Sports Network down in Beaver. The faithful down in Beaver have a home here on Total Media Sports YouTube as well. They tune in all fall. It's going to be great. Waverly Tigers, they have a home on Total Media Sports YouTube as well as all kinds of other schools that we're working with in conjunction across several counties. For instance, in the SVC, we're going to be streaming SVC football across that whole league, that whole conference, which kicks off tonight here. So
good one.
That and a lot more coming from the company as we continue our dedicated coverage.
We have been working hard. Again, the offseason really never stops for us here at Total Media. And we have been busy getting everything ready for the fall. And, well, the fall is very nearly upon us. We've got our first game tonight. We're going to talk a lot about the Portsmouth Trojans, the Unioto Sherman Tanks. We're going to talk about that tonight. We have got a full slate tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll, of course, be live once again on Friday night. We'll be out at Waverly for the matchup against Miami Trace. We'll talk a little bit about more of that one as we go throughout tonight's show. And then on Saturday, we're doing a little triple header to start the season off. We'll be at our friendly faces over at Alumni Stadium. The Jackson Ironmen get their season kicked off against Little Miami, the Panthers of the ECCC. And we'll see how Jackson gets their season started. That'll be a Saturday. Same time, 5 p.m. You can tune in. We'll have a stream for that one up as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We will. And also that post-game party on Friday night as well.
The post-game party. Football Friday night. You do not want to miss Football Friday night. We have big plans for Friday night this year, just as we do for Friday kickoff.
That's it.
You're not going to want to be anywhere else but here. Eric, we have got, again, we can announce some of the other places we're going this year.
Let's
we are going
man.
to some big-time games throughout the course. We'll start with next week where we're going to, it's easy for me. I still live here. The Athens Bulldogs, who, again, last year they were a fantastic season. Their first playoff win without a certain quarterback who wears number 9 for the Cincinnati Bengals as their starting quarterback. They got a playoff victory against Lyndon McKinley for their first win without Joe Burrow in the playoffs. They got that win at home. They won 10 games for the first time without Joe Burrow, and now they come back in 2025. I got a chance to watch the Athens Bulldogs last week at their Jamboree scrimmage against Trimble. Let me tell you, this team's not going anywhere. That is the first thing and the first anticipation that I got from them. Daniel Heitland is their quarterback, number 16. He stepped in towards the middle of the season last year, and there were some growing pains. There were some slight issues that he had to work through, but let me tell you, I asked him this at Gridiron Glory Media Day just a few days ago. What's the process been like? And he just said reps, reps, reps. This kid has been working in the weight room, on the practice field all summer long, all winter long, and he is ready to try and take this Athens team to another level in 2025. And really, their big goal for the season is to try and get that one back on Nelsonville York and try and get that TVC title back to Athens. Yeah,
and I think it should be right. And they're going to have the opportunity to kick off their year against a Logan squad that has been up and coming in recent years. But Nathan White's going to have the Bulldogs playing good football, just as they were in that Jamboree game where they showed that Trimble's also going to have some growing pains to deal with as well. Bulldogs are going to be tough for sure.
Absolutely, and we will be there. We'll do week 3. We'll save the rest of them, but we'll do week 3. Week 3, we will be at one of the best rivalries in our area, and quite easily the best rivalry trophy in our area. Gallia Academy is at Point Pleasant. We're crossing the border, heading over to West Virginia. Yeah, first time.
Wow.
We're gonna head across the border. We're gonna head to the home of the Black Knights, a new name now in 2025, and they will be heading there to take on Gallia Academy. The big bridge, for those of you watching on the stream, we've got, the bridge is, me and Eric would probably have to hold it between us. It's, I think, about 150 pounds. It's a legit thing, and it is one of the most wild trophies you'll ever see in any rivalry at any level.
Yes.
Obviously, there are some great ones at the college game. I think like the Paul Bunyan Trophy between Michigan and Michigan State. I think of some of the other great ones, but this one is right up there with some of those great college traditions. So we're really excited. That'll be on September 5th, right before, of course, the big game between Ohio and West Virginia. That is the very next day on the 6th. So a good weekend there of camaraderie between Ohio and West Virginia. So we've got plenty more planned out. We've got a ton of huge games on this schedule that we're really excited to go to. And then towards the end of the season, we've kind of got TBD on there because we're going to be rolling around, seeing what the big games are, and planting our feet in the ground right there, and because that's the biggest thing that we want for you all out there in Southeast Ohio and in West Virginia as well. We want you to be at the biggest games every single week.
You tell us, basically. We'll be where the best ones are every week, night in, night out, as the season comes to a close towards the end of the year.
Absolutely, and we are more than looking forward to it. We're going to have some preview packages on today's show because today's show a little bit different than our typical Friday kickoff show. Obviously, for those of you who have watched in the past, we do our game previews, but we've got 3 shows to handle this week, so we're not going to do most of our game previews today. We'll save that for tomorrow. We've got season previews, so I've been across the course of the last few weeks traveling, looking, seeing, and viewing a lot of these teams in summer and fall camp. Let me tell you, there are some teams that are going to turn some heads this summer. We're going to hear from some new head coaches. We're going to hear from some old head coaches who have been in the saddle, who know what's going on. And we're going to start off in just a second, right after our first break of the afternoon. We're going to start with the Chillicothe. We're going to start off with the TJ Carper, which we'll see if we can get that work technologically out. But we'll figure that out in just a second.
Yeah.
TJ Carper is new. He's new, but he's not new, right?
Oh,
TJ Carper is a guy that most of you, if you're following Southeast Ohio football, you'll know the name. He was at Vinton County, did such a great job there, built them up, won the TVC Ohio title for the first time since 1999 back in 2023. And then he went to Zanesville, didn't quite go to plan for him up there, and now he comes back down to, I think, where his lifeblood is in Southeast Ohio, where he comes to take command of the Chillicothe Cavaliers, a program that is proud, a program with centuries of tradition, and that's real, centuries of tradition. They've been playing football since the early 1900s. and TJ Carper comes in to try and restore the Cavaliers to some of their former dominance.
Yeah, and I think that the shell of the Cavaliers is still there. I think that the athletes still want to play football at Chillicothe. I think that Coach Carper is going to come in. He's going to build a culture like he does everywhere. Very, very likable guy. I think he's a player's coach, relates to the kids very well, and I think he's going to come in, do some wonderful things culturally for that program, and then from there, the sky's the limit for any
100%.
Coach Carper program.
Yeah, and Coach Carper, again, such a great dude to talk to, just in any sort of sense of the word. Again, players coach, too, and you'll see.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't really show the package just yet. We're still working on that. But if you want to go check out any of these preseason packages, I can plug myself here for a second. I've got my YouTube channel, Ethan Sargent. There's a little playlist on there called the 2025 Preseason Rush. You're going to want to head on there. You can check out, we've got, I believe, 5 or 6 packages out already for the season. And you're going to want to, this is, I think, the package you're going to want that has the most visual aspect to it. Because I was at Chillicothe's practice a few weeks ago, and I've never seen a coach be so involved.
Yeah.
This guy is out again. For those of you who don't know, TJ Carper's a former collegiate-level defensive player, played at Marshall just as recently as 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And, like, he goes out there and plays at safety. He goes out there and plays corner.
Very
intense. He takes a lot of pride in that, and he is up close and personal with these guys. And I asked a couple of their players, Carte Ligon, about it, and they were like, look, it helps us get better because he's there with us.
Yeah.
He's in the blood, sweat, and tears just as much as we are.
Yeah.
And he's and coaches and players, they have that camaraderie and they see that, right? If a player sees that a coach is giving it their 100%, they'll give their 100%. Just as conversely, if a player doesn't see that a coach is giving it their all, they're not going to feel like they have to give it their all. And you get the good side of that with TJ Carper, where he gets that buy-in from his players, and it truly is meaningful to see.
There's in the programs we see with the most success in Southeastern Ohio, and it's easy to reference someone with his recent successes, Ironton, but in programs like that where the standard is that high, top down and bottom up, the standard's the same.
Yep.
And I think that's what Coach Carper looks to build at Chillicothe this year.
100%. So we'll step aside for our first break of the evening. When we come back, we'll hope to hear from TJ Carper and a couple of those players. We'll see if we can get the tech fixed out first, though. But we'll hopefully, tentatively, we'll get that working. But you're listening to Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Southeast Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
Oh, but just admit that it's it. Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. Ethan Sergeant Eric Langham with you here if you're just joining us, and we're going to throw our first preseason package of the season up now. We heard from TJ Carper of the Chillicothe Cavaliers, and again, they're trying to build the Cavaliers back up to the perennial powerhouse they've once been, and TJ Carper is trying to be the man in charge for the Cavs. Perfect. It was so great to hear from Coach Carper and from Carte Ligon and from all of the people at Chillicothe. And huge shout out to them for letting me come by and take in a practice. And again, the big thing about that practice, and there's a couple hits in there where you see it, where how involved he is. Like I mentioned before the break, just how much this guy gets in the weeds and cares, right? And look, you really saw it at Benton County. That's the big thing, where he has patented results from the way that his coaching has worked in the past. And that's why I am positive, cautiously optimistic about where the Chillicothe Cavaliers' future may be, especially for those of you out there who do not know the name Carte Ligon. get to know that name. This kid is really good. He is a sophomore. He's a class of 2028. Rushed for over 1,000 yards last year as a freshman. Let me just pause you right there.
Yeah,
and then he's
enough.
actually going to play a lot of receiver this year, is what Coach Carper said. So expect him to be active early and often in that offense.
Yeah. Yeah, and Coach Carper, you mentioned getting into the weeds. That's exactly what he does as a coach. He gets into the weeds. He gets into the weeds of his program as a whole. He gets into the weeds of it with his personnel, as you're seeing, shifting a running back out to receiver, moving him around in different spots. Coach Carper is going to make sure that this team is competitive in year one. May not get it turned around overnight, but he's going to make sure that his team is competitive in year one, and they're going to start trending doing the right things. And I think that we're going to see a big bounce back from the Cavaliers program that we saw struggle just a year ago in that conference.
Yeah, again, they got a couple wins late in that season, but they'll look to try and get better. They open their season up with a tough challenge tomorrow. They take on the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs, who are one of the perennial powerhouses up in the Mid-State League in the more northern part of our coverage area. Let's take a look at the FAC. We're going to kind of save Jackson. We've got a preview package for them. We'll save that for Saturday. We know what we're getting with the Ironmen. Let's take a look at some of the rest of this. A couple of coaching changes outside of DJ Carper. How about Chuck Williamson coming home to roost at Washington Courthouse, an old face back home?
Yeah, replacing Dave Everson, and you look for Chuck Williamson to come in, breathe some life into that Blue Lions program, that's needed it. Picked up some good wins, actually finished second in the conference behind Jackson last year. Kind of a quiet second place after the slip-up of Miami Trace. And, you just look for Chuck Williamson to come in and do some big things.
Absolutely, and, of course, not the only Williamson in the coverage area, and not the only Williamson in the FAC. How about Jerry Williamson over at Miami Trace? Miami Trace might have one of the most talented players in our whole coverage area in Adam Guthrie, who is, of course, committed to Clemson as a lineman commit, 4 stars, according to 1-3 Rivals. So, again, when you look at a guy like him, you can establish your identity with him up front. You think about the impact that Miami Trace felt when they lost Guthrie for the season in that crucial game against Jackson. It kind of derailed the Panthers' season, losing a player of Guthrie's caliber.
Yeah, it does, because when you have a player like Guthrie, it's like having a running back that's capable of running for 2,500 yards. I mean, you build your identity around a guy like that. Dabo Sweeney's not missing out on 6'7", 290 pounds of Adam Guthrie from Miami Trace, I can assure you that. But the offense sure was last year. It'll be good to have him back.
Yeah, again, and they will miss Trey Robinette, who has graduated, walked on at Ohio State. So
what a talent!
Yeah, absolutely.
What a talent!
Going to be interesting to see what he can do at the next level. Let's move to the let's do the OVC real quick.
Love it.
Because
I love it. We're here. We may as well.
We are in OVC country. We'll talk a little bit more about Portsmouth, of course, later on. But we can't talk about the OVC without talking about the Fairland Dragons.
Yes.
Right? They have been the class of the conference really ever since Ironton left. They went unbeaten in the conference last year, went 6-0, despite a very, very controversial game against this team right here.
It was right here.
I actually asked Coach Kolb about that game. And he said, look, and he gave a great answer, actually. You know, he talked about taking life lessons out of that moment for players that were understandably very frustrated after, a game that they felt like they came up short in. But, again, you can only blame the refs and other people so much, right? And it's about looking inwards and bettering yourself. And that's the lesson that he thought his players took. And he said, look, I thought that our players bounced back from that, and they learned the lessons, and they ended the season really well. Won their first playoff game here since 2002.
Right. Yeah, and when you look back at Portsmouth's schedule, 3 of their 4 losses were to 10-win teams.
Yes.
And that includes Ironton twice, of course. But, Portsmouth had quite the schedule. But that said, Fairland definitely made the splash in the conference. I think Fairland's going to be pretty strong again.
Yeah.
I think it's very likely. Not likely, but maybe. But Fairland could repeat.
They do lose Cam Kitts. That's a big
huge loss. Yeah. Huge loss. They bring back a lot of experience, a lot of talent on that roster, though, and they are tough to play in Proctorville.
Yes.
Very tough to play down there.
Very tough. Couple of new coaches in the OVC. Gallia Academy has a new head coach. That is Dalton Jarrell, who is replacing Nathan Metler. Gallia Academy struggled mightily last year. Just the 1 win, and it was in their last game of the season.
Yeah.
They'll have to try and better that this year, and I think they will. From the reports that I'm getting from there, the numbers are up. The vibes are up in Gallipolis. So we'll see how the Blue Devils get on. And then at Chesapeake, Tony Nip is out. Kevin Hutchinson is in for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Chesapeake was another one of those teams that as the year went on last year, just couldn't really figure out what they wanted to do in the conference. But again, talented conference. Portsmouth and Fairland made it very difficult for competitors. And you just kind of wonder what Chesapeake's going to do this year, finishing 4th last year.
Yeah, I think that for me, the team to watch in this conference is Rock Hill. They had a really good year last year that I really thought they took a step forward as a program. It's going to be interesting to see if they can sustain that momentum this year or if they fall back down. That's why I have my eye on them, because if they can take that step and sustain that step, they could absolutely burst into that Fairland-Portsmouth tier of contending for the conference. And then you cannot forget about Colgrove. They're the wild card as well. They've got one of the more talented players in our coverage area in Caden Turner, another player who is highly touted at the next level, already has multiple offers at the Division I level. Going to be very interesting to see how Caden Turner and the Colgrove squad gets on throughout the course of the year. Dawson Bryant as well. We'll step aside once again here on Football Friday Kickoff. Plenty more previews to come. We've got over an hour of coverage still coming to you here from Portsmouth. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dan Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioSouls.com to donate today.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people.
We're back here on Football Friday Kickoff. Ethan Sargent, Eric Landrum here with you. We'll do a quick conference preview, then we're going to have a very special guest join the program in just a few moments. But first, we're going to talk about the Scioto Valley Conference, a conference, again, that's been the last couple years. It's been Unioto's conference, but they lose a lot of seniors, which we're going to talk about later in the show. And they've got Matt Hoops back as head coach. There's a couple of new head coaches, and the most interesting one I want to talk about is Southeastern. Not because of Larry Willoughby, who is their new head coach, but because of one of their assistants. How about Ron Hinton coming back into coaching on that staff for Southeastern? You want to talk about legacy on that coaching staff? That is big time.
Yeah, that's obviously huge for Southeastern, a very familiar name to the area. Panthers are going to benefit greatly from that, and it's going to definitely add some much-needed depth into that SVC conference as well.
100%, and again, the Panthers went 1-9 last year. They're looking to try and get the results to match some of the work that they're putting in. Paint Valley, Corey Dye's been so good for the Bearcats last couple of years. He steps down to go take the defensive coordinator job at Miami Trace, which I should have mentioned in the last segment. That is a big deal for the Panthers because they will try and look to be better on defense this year. So in steps John Penwell, who was the defensive coordinator at Paint Valley last year. So he comes in. It's just a casual step up into the head coaching role for the Bearcats this season.
Yeah, and, you know, this is a program that has had quite a bit of success recently, had some really good success last year, dealt with some injuries late in the year, and unfortunately fell out of conference play, didn't get to make quite the playoff push that they had hoped, but definitely going to be the look of a new program as things shift with, as you mentioned, Corey Dye headed to Miami Trace.
Absolutely. So we'll step aside real quick here on Football Friday Kickoff. We're going to have Chuck Greenslate join us on the program in just a second. You're listening and watching to Football Friday Kickoff.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. Ethan Sargent, Eric Landrum, and a special guest, Chuck Greenslate, joins the program now, the voice of the Portsmouth Trojans. Chuck, how we doing?
Doing fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, we're going to get his audio fixed.
I need to get Chuck's audio up here. Yeah, there we go.
We're getting there.
There we go.
Bang.
There it is.
There it is. Week one, baby.
You can't not have Chuck's fantastic voice here joining us on the program. So
Usually
Chuck,
this mouth is so loud it doesn't really need a microphone, so we're good.
He could have
we're
just
good.
screamed into one of ours.
Absolutely.
And it probably would have worked. Well, Chuck, talk a little bit about how important it is to be playing on a Thursday night. You guys have the eyes of most of Southeastern Ohio on Portsmouth tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is nothing new. Portsmouth has opened up the season traditionally with the Thursday nighter. Up until this season, it's been against the Valley Indians, so it was an all Scioto County affair up until the schedule got jostled up a little bit this year for several area teams. But I think this is an awesome event. It's always a great kickoff to the season. And don't get me wrong, it's good anytime you're anywhere on a Thursday. And there's actually a second Scioto County team opening up tonight, Northwest and Piketon, out at Roy Rogers Field in the McDermott area. But when you have an opener in Portsmouth, no matter who it is they're playing, again, typically Valley up until Unioto this year, it gives people an excuse to come down, go across the street to the Scioto River, enjoy the beautiful weather. It's not too miserably hot this evening, and that's a nice change. So it's really special to get the season kicked off. It's just a great ramp up to what will hopefully be a very entertaining 2025.
Absolutely. And
not to mention it's a great gate. I mean, because nobody else hardly is playing. So, I mean, all eyes are on this town.
We're going to have a great crowd. And you can see, if you're watching us on stream, you can check out behind us. You can see some purple specks out behind us, the Unioto Sherman tanks are out warming up. And then just out to our right-hand side, the Portsmouth Trojans are getting going. We just put a pulse on the SVC. Nobody better to put a pulse on the the OVC than you. Let's talk a little bit about the state of the OVC in 2025. Obviously, Fairland, Portsmouth expected to be back near the top again. What are you looking for in that conference this year?
I think it's probably going to be those two teams certainly in the conversation. I don't think you can forget about Colgrove. And actually, when I was in high school eons ago, I had an assistant coach by the name of Tony Love who won a state championship across the river with the Ashland Tomcats. He's going into his second year with the Rock Hill Redmen. He's a very good coach, so don't sleep on them either. So when you think of what you got in Colgrove, Rock Hill, obviously Portsmouth and Fairland, I think it's going to be a really fun Ohio Valley Conference race. And, you know, you've got some teams like Gallia, Chesapeake. You can never sleep on them. There's some great rivalries, especially amongst the Lawrence County schools. And then when you throw into the fact that this is Portsmouth's final season in the Ohio Valley Conference before joining the SOC next year, you know they're going to go out in style because they've really developed some good rivalries within the OVC over the past few years.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been really, really fun to see Portsmouth evolve. Let's talk a little bit about Portsmouth specifically. I had the chance to go speak to Coach Call a few weeks ago. They seem really upbeat, positive about where the program is, but some big bodies are no longer with the Portsmouth program. Chase Highland is a big loss. JT Williams is a big loss. Talk a little bit about, for example, Marquez Locklear at the quarterback position. Talk a little bit about some of those guys that are going to come in and try and fill some of those voids left behind.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about Locklear. I mean, everybody is singing his praises, not just with his athleticism, but his leadership. And that is something that these Portsmouth coaches, they really look at seeing the personalities and the heart behind these young men. Their hearts, as far as the coaching staff, always in the right place. They've got a good group of guys here. Most of them are Portsmouth guys, and they don't just want their players to be successful in the field. They want them to be really good men after they graduate. And you hear that so often, it sometimes becomes a little bit on the cliche side. They're sincere about it. I mean, I've been around these guys a lot, and sometimes when you hear that type of coach talk, you roll your eyes like, yeah, whatever. You want somebody who can score touchdowns, catch passes, and make tackles and run a great 40, lift a lot of weights. No, they really want these kids to grow up and be good folks. They truly do. But you said the key word when you said evolve. I've never been around a coach who evolves better than Coach Bruce Cobb. He coaches to his talent. We saw that when he first took over. He had the Parker kid who could just run all over the place. He was phenomenal. And then he got Drew Rowe, who was a great quarterback, who could throw it all over the place. If he's got a team that can throw, he throws. If he's got a team that can pass the ball, he passes. If he's got a defensive unit that can blitz, he turns them loose. If they're a little bit more suited for dropping back into coverage and reading plays, he plays to his talent. He's not one of those guys that has that system and he tries to force square pegs into round holes. He coaches around the personnel that he's got as good as anybody I've ever seen. And I think while last year they were a little bit more run-oriented with Highland, I think you're going to see them open it up a little bit more this year.
Could be why the Trojans averaged just over 29 points a game just a year ago. I mean, you mentioned it, the offense, the evolution, the balance, but also the versatility to know your personnel, know what you're working with, and make it happen. I think you're right. He's as good as anyone in our area.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like in this opening game, everybody's feeling each other out. Portsmouth has been hit on some big plays defensively because they do take a lot of gambles with some one-on-one man coverage.
I love it.
And they gave up a big touchdown to Valley a couple years ago right here on this field late in the game. And everybody's like, oh, no, they should have gone into more of a prevent defense, but it didn't work out. But, you know, in addition to knowing his talents, he'll take some gambles too. And more often than not, it works out whether we're talking offensively or defensively.
Well, I think that goes a long way in putting pressure on opposing offenses. And just the gambles pay off. A lot of times they pay off. And you know, when you're that kind of aggressive mind, sometimes you give up the big one. A lot of times it pays off.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to ask you about, I'm not sure how fun this is going to be to talk about, but last year's game against Fairland, can you take me through the last minute or so of that game?
Because break his heart.
I'm sorry. Week 1. I know it's a tough one to rekindle for Portsmouth fans out there. But I've asked Coach Kolb about this, and I asked a couple players about this, and not only I want to, mention the end, but the reaction that the team had after the game, because I really thought that really spoke more to the character of Portsmouth than anything that happened in that last few minutes.
Yeah, and I actually wasn't physically at that particular game last year, but I heard the story so often I felt like I was.
Yeah.
There were some situations toward the end of the game, calls that Portsmouth really felt didn't go its way, and in hearing chatter following the game, there were many that felt that same way. But it was what it was. Fairland wound up getting a late win, and it was a heartbreaking loss because if Portsmouth wins that, then it's the Trojans who were Ohio Valley Conference champions last year. But it wound up going to a very good Fairland team. But with those two programs especially, not to get off on a tangent, but they have got a lot of history with each other. We've seen that in girls basketball over the last couple of years, definitely. But you go back to 2 years ago, Portsmouth went into the playoffs as a number 15 seed, drove to Proctorville, wound up knocking off the Dragons in the opening round of the playoffs after Fairland had defeated them in the regular season. So they've gone back and forth, and Fairland, I'll see them tomorrow when they visit Sauter County to take on the West Senators. They've lost so much talent. They've lost their top 4 leading rushers, their quarterback, their top receiver. So they're certainly in rebuilding mode. But that particular game that you alluded to last year, the regular season loss to Fairland, it was heartbreaking, but the kids did get their heads up and they came back and plowed away throughout the rest of the season. Unfortunately for them, a little bit later on in the year, they ran into this team called Ironton. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're not bad.
They're not bad.
Yes. But they still wound up 8-4. Portsmouth
they had a great season, I think, winning a playoff game here for the first time.
As a matter of fact, the group of seniors which graduated last year, Coach Cobb was just telling me the other day that that's the first group in school history to go all 4 years and make it to the second round of the playoffs.
Wow.
Each year of their career.
Pretty storied program to do that in.
Yeah.
Last thing I've got for you, I know you've got prep to do. You've got a game to call here in just a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup. Let's quickly spotlight what you're expecting to see from the Sherman Tanks tonight, and then how you kind of feel that this game is going to slide and who's got the edge.
Well, I think, first of all, with Portsmouth, there are a lot of holes to fill, and there's going to be a little identity soul searching early on in the game, and we've heard what people feel that the new personnel can do, but can they do it on game night? What they do on the practice field and what they've done in the previous 2 scrimmages, that's one thing, but out here under the Thursday night lights in this case, there's going to be some nerves, obviously, so I think it's imperative that both teams get off to a good start. As far as the X's and O's with Unioto, I can't get too specific with that, but Coach Cobb did sing their praises. This is a Division IV school, almost D3. There's some points on the line tonight with this ball game. It's really weird to talk about computer points going into the opening week of the season, especially with the Thursday, especially now that the OHSAA has cut it down to 12 teams per region. Every game matters, whereas the last couple of years you could maybe afford to schedule up and suffer a loss. Now, not so much. You need every single win and you need every single point that you can get. But I think the biggest thing early on for Portsmouth, and probably for Unioto too, is don't make mental mistakes.
That's it.
Don't commit the penalties. Don't put the ball on the ground. Don't turn it over in any way, because if you get your head down early to start out the season, it can lead for a long night. So get off on the right foot, be positive, and hopefully carry that on throughout the rest of this game and the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I think for the Trojans, too, we mentioned new quarterback. For that young man, make sure you're keeping him, no rushed-in personnel. Make sure we're getting the right kids on and off the field. Do the little things you can control. I think Portsmouth will be okay early on anyway.
Yeah, remember this name. A lot of people butcher this name because it's spelled P-O-X-E-S. That's Pocius, and he is a very solid athlete. Fernando Pocius. He's a junior, 5'10", 202 pounds. He's lived in the weight room. He played a little fullback last year. You're going to see him at tailback some tonight or in the lone back set. Look for really good things from him. Cameron Williams, he's a junior. As a freshman, he was the starting quarterback here. His brother was the starting quarterback last year. He graduated. A couple years ago, his brother was going to be the starting quarterback as a junior, but he broke his hand in the preseason, so they handed over the reins to the freshman. Now, he's not playing QB now because Locklear is doing so well, but he is so speedy. He's small, 5'6", 142 pounds, and they might be giving him a few pounds, Eric. But you talk about a guy that is literally like a field mouse running from a herd of cats. When he gets the ball, he can make some real good things happen. He's fun to watch.
Got to get him the ball then.
Yep,
got to make it happen.
That's awesome. We're expecting a great game. You can listen to Chuck and you can watch the matchup on Total Media Sports, and you can listen to Chuck say it. It's right on the thing, 107.5 FM.
Well, tonight we're going to be on Mix 99.3, WNXT, and we're also partnering with one of Total Media's most recent acquisitions, Cool TV. They'll be video streaming the game tonight, so hear it, see it. if you can't make it out, we got you covered.
And we got, look,
We
you
got
can
you.
even see Chuck's face on the live stream. If you're
I'm better suited for radio. Sorry.
I need to just go at this point. It's over. It's you guys now.
It's great.
I love it, man.
Yeah, Chuck, appreciate you coming on. Thanks
Appreciate
so much.
you guys.
Good luck on the call.
Have a great season.
Thank you for coming by.
We'll step aside here on Football Friday Kickoff. We'll be right back with more preseason and pregame coverage.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success. It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than...
Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. You want to talk about voices that are built for radio. Chuck Greenslade has a voice that is built for the radio in every sense of the word, right? He is just... You know, I think he sells himself short on the looks, too. I think he's got the look for TV, but man, does he have the voice for radio.
He's the total package, man.
He is. And again, you're going to want to listen to that guy call football, and you can tonight on Total Media Sports or on Cool TV, which is a new thing. I'm glad he brought that up because that is a new collaboration we're doing this year.
Yes.
For those of you down in the southern part of the state, you'll know what Cool TV is. They do a ton of cool stuff with Portsmouth, with Ironton, with a lot of the schools down here. We're doing a big partnership with them this season, so keep an eye on that for some of our streams. they may have some of them as well. So keep an eye on that. We're really, really excited to be working with those guys this year.
In 3 states now. How wild is that?
Kentucky
3
and West
states.
Virginia as well. Yeah,
Crazy.
Coverage is really expanding. We'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow as well. But we have a ton of stuff going on. Let's quickly, before we head to another break, let's talk quickly about the SOC1. No changes in terms of head coaches in this conference this year.
Yeah.
However, there are 3 Crabtrees. I always find that funny.
Yes.
That there are 3 Crabtrees. You've got Nolan over at Valley, you've got Chris at Waverly, and you've got Bill over at Northwest. The interesting thing about this conference is I think you've got a couple of schools that are loaded up this season, ready to take that next step.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. And one of those schools that I look at right away is probably Valley. I thought they kind of arrived a year early last year. Young, inexperienced squad. Really tough game against Portsmouth to kick off the season last year here. And I just thought Valley took a step forward. Could see a little bit more out of them. But right now this feels like Berg's conference to lose. I think they took a step forward, if you want my opinion.
I'm very glad you brought up Wheelersburg, because I think that Wheelersburg this year is state title or bust.
Wow.
That is a big thing to say. I'm aware it is, right? I'm very keenly aware of the things I say on the show. We do our predictions.
Wow.
Don't worry, those will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, they will.
But Wheelersburg is loaded up. Remember, last year they were a 14 seed. Under this season's playoff format, Wheelersburg would not have made the postseason last year. They still made it to the regional final. It's
Crazy.
like snapping your fingers.
Yep.
They just find a way every single year. But this year, this is a senior class for the Wheelersburg Pirates that is. They've seen it now. They have been in multiple regional finals. They have come up short at the final hurdle multiple times.
Right.
This is the year where they're going to load up. And let me tell you, Region 19, we're going to talk about regions a lot as the season goes on. Region 19 this year is absolutely loaded because Prep is back. They're loaded. We haven't even talked about Ironton yet.
Yeah.
They're loaded. So, again, there is a lot of things going on in that conference, and we have to talk about Waverly. We're going to talk a lot more about Waverly tomorrow, of course. And again, I think the first thing we have to talk about here is we have to send our thoughts, of course, out to the family of Dres Bolin and everybody in the Waverly community. Such a terrible tragedy that occurred there just a few weeks ago. And again, tomorrow is going to be a very, very emotional day, I think, for a lot of people in that community. But in my opinion, I've said this a couple times, I don't really think that anything brings people together quite like sports.
I agree.
And especially quite like high school football, which, of course, was one of Dres' biggest passions. So, again, very, very emotional night tomorrow. We will be there, and it's our honor, honestly, to be there and be able to take part in what's, I think, going to be a special evening for the Tigers.
Yeah, it will be. And, you know, on top of everything else going on, being an emotional night in Tiger Town, to turn the page on that for just a moment, it's going to be a great football game as well. That Week 1 contest has been, for the last 3 years, one of the best games in the area. The last 3 years, that game's been decided by 9 points total. So it's going to be an emotional night in Tiger Town. But like you mentioned, and I couldn't have said it better myself, nothing quite heals like being around a community in a high school football setting. So our thoughts, prayers out to Tiger Town, and we'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, again, the one team we have not mentioned, and they're always there, is Portsmouth West, the Senators. They bring back, I think, maybe the most talented player in the conference in Anthony Bishop at running back.
Yes.
He is a stud. We talked about him a lot last year. He had to split some carries last year. It's his backfield in 2025.
Yeah, it really is. And you wonder, you know, last year it came down to them in Wheelersburg in, I think, week 8 of...
Yeah, remember, Portsmouth West started the season very slowly last year as well. They started 0-2.
Very slow.
Yeah.
Very slow. And then they picked up the steam. They figured out the run game was their solid identity, and they're going to look for that to keep pace this year. It's going to be, I think, those two teams at the top of the conference yet again.
Well, the sun's out, and we are getting ever closer to football.
It looks like football, don't it?
It does. We are in perfect summer weather. The crowd is starting slowly to fill in. We've got players warming up on the field, and we are still over an hour until kickoff here from the Coliseum down in Portsmouth. We'll step aside once more. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than just opening an account. It's opening the door to what's next. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently. Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohiosouls.com to donate today.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently. Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohiosouls.com.
Welcome back to the Coliseum, and welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. Ethan Sargent and Eric Landrum here with you for another 30 or so minutes as we preview the season and we preview this matchup between Unioto and Portsmouth. But first, we've got to do our weather report. This is new.
Yes.
This is new for 2025. This is presented by Hocking College, and it is your weather forecast for football tonight. We've got a beautiful evening here in Portsmouth. 79 degrees, partly cloudy conditions expected for the evening. The sun may even crack out a little bit more. We had cloud cover most of the day today.
Oh, it gets brighter, does it?
And it is brighter.
Wow.
It is brighter now.
Okay, I guess it does.
The sun is rolling.
Okay.
There could be, you might have noticed the papers are rustling around on our desk a little bit. There is wind. It's blowing at our backs at about
breeze.
10 miles an hour or so. So the wind, we'll see if it's a factor for the kickers today. But for right now, you could not ask for a better night for high school football. Not too hot, not too cold. This is what you're trying to look for in these early season matchups. Let's talk a little bit about the SOC2, the small school division. We're going to hear from the Beaver Eastern Eagles in just a second, so we'll save them. But there are 5 other schools in here, or 5 other schools. A couple of new head coaches. Shane Colvin comes in at Green, replacing Larry Hull, and Bob Boldman comes in at Notre Dame to replace Buster Davis.
Yeah, and you know, there are a lot of people, especially down in Notre Dame, that think that could be actually kind of a positive transition as far as there are a lot of kids I've heard that are coming out for football.
Yes, I heard that as well.
There's been a switch flip in that Portsmouth Notre Dame Titans program since that change. So I don't know if that's something to keep an eye on or not, but I think that's something positive if you're a Titans fan.
And absolutely, you know, you look at the Beaver Eastern Eagles, they've kind of had a stranglehold on this conference the last couple of years. If anybody's going to challenge them, the last couple of years it has been the South Gallia Rebels with Brian Morrow at the helm. They've given Beaver Eastern a couple really good games. Beaver Eastern only won by 1 point in the meeting they had a couple of years ago. So we're going to have to look and see how can – really I think the big question for this conference is how do these teams catch up to Beaver Eastern?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the biggest thing, right? And it's how do you catch up to a team that's loaded on defense? They've got unbelievable coaching up front on both sides of the ball, the talent's there, and also they got a guy named Eric Manley who's a 6'7" man-child, happens to be able to throw the football quite well, a 2,000-yard passer a year ago.
45 touchdowns last year.
I mean, he is shattering every record that hasn't quite been set yet in that new program. He's phenomenal. He is. He's a manly athlete. He's a manly man.
Yeah, we had some great puns. We're going to have plenty more for him over the course of the year. And look, he's deserved them. He's deserved them, right? When you're that good. And they bring back a lot of talent. The biggest thing about Beaver Eastern, and I talk about it in this package that we're going to play in just a second, their offensive line is once again the strength of that team.
Phenomenal.
Brewer Tomlinson is back. He's the anchor of that squad. I talked to him. Obviously, you've got Scott, and then you've got another Tomlinson as the offensive line coach, Landon, who is a former Division I athlete, played at UMass, and now he is back as their O-line coach. And let me tell you, that line is just—they're just going to move people out of the way. It's their identity.
Well, it is. It's not only their coaches or their program's identity; it's their coach's identity. They have built this program from the inside out, from the interior to the receivers on the outside. They're replacing some guys on the outside, as you mentioned. Both fronts come back. And I look for Beaver Eastern to be the standard in that conference yet again.
Well, let's hear what Coach Tomlinson and the Beaver Eastern Eagles have to say ahead of their 2025 season.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioSouls.com to donate today.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us. At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than just opening an account. It's opening the door to what's next. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohio.com to donate today.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers.
Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff, and as you just heard, a couple of different voices. Eric Manley was in there, Scott Tomlinson, and Brewer Tomlinson of the Eastern Eagles. Again, their identity is just going to be just running the beeping football.
Yes.
That's what I like to say. You can insert whatever words you want to put in there.
I can?
I
don't think. Okay, never mind. Never
might
mind.
get me in trouble.
I thought I was allowed for a second.
But no, they're going to do a lot of running the
They
ball
are.
this year. I think, again, they kind of, I asked Coach Tomlinson about it, and he mentioned that I think they're going to, identities got to be a lot more running the football. Last year they passed the ball a lot. They lost a couple really talented receivers. Obviously, they're going to have to replace that, but I think when you think about what they've got in their running back room this year, I think that they're going to run the ball. And Manley's also very capable with the ball in his hands as a runner as well.
I mean, he's 6'7". He's got to be 230 pounds. I mean, how do you bring him down? I mean, of course he's going to see it in his hands some under that offensive identity with the Tomlinsons at the helm and the biggest player on their rosters got the ball every play. Yeah, he might touch it a time or two and tote the rock. Nonetheless, going to be a high-powered offense in Beaver yet again. Year two, I think it's going to be another big year.
Let's talk about the TVC real quick. Our last conference to swing through. We've got, of course, two divisions, TVC Ohio and the TVC Hocking. We will start with the Hocking. Only one new head coach in the TVC Hocking. It's Dominic Branch, who is coming in to replace Cody Mason over at Federal Hocking. Federal Hocking, a full part of the TVC Hocking this year, which is a big deal for them. First time they're going to play a full TVC Hocking season in almost 6 years, 2019.
Awesome.
Which is great. The numbers are up. I'm hearing nothing but good things about what Coach Branch is doing there at Federal Hocking, so good to see them doing well. For right now, for me, the top of this conference belongs to the Waterford Wildcats because they have a kid in Hayden Jones who I think is going to be much more of a household name come the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so too. And, Eric McCutcheon, quite frankly, knows how to use his personnel. That was an offense a year ago that was just lights out. They ran rampant throughout that conference in the TVC Hocking, went 4-0, and just couldn't say enough about what they did a year ago. I think that they'll bring a lot of that momentum back. I think, like you said, they'll be the top of the conference, kind of the standard in the Hawking yet again, and could be another big year for the Wildcats.
Yeah, of course, Phil Fairs is back at Trimble for the Tomcats. Jason Jackson is back for the Eagles of Eastern. Megs, again, I think both of those teams will look to compete with Waterford for the top of that. Southern as well.
Yes.
Cassie Wilford could be the sleeper team in that conference. And Belpre also there with Kevin Welsh. Southern especially, I think they've got good bodies this year.
Yes.
Could be a really talented offense. Going to be interesting to see what the Tornadoes could do. Moving over to the TVC Ohio, where there is also only one new head coach. It's Corey Bean, who is over at Alexander. I've got nothing but good things to say about Corey Bean. I've interacted with him a few times so far. He is not only is he just a good dude, class act, but he is really instilling belief in his players. Gridiron Glory Media Day was this past Sunday.
Sure.
And, you know, what Gridiron Glory asked, of course, many of you out there will know, they are Ohio University's high school football show. I used to work for Gridiron Glory. I have nothing but good things to say about the content and coverage that they do for high school football. But they had, 3 players and a coach come in.
Yes.
So, a lot of teams brought their quarterbacks, starters, running back, whatever. Alexander brought 3 linemen.
Love it.
3 offensive
Love it.
linemen. And Corey Bean said, look, these guys are up here because we want that to be our identity. And look, they all talk the talk. Now, can they walk the walk this year is going to be an interesting story to see.
Yeah, it will be. And again, another tough division of the TVC for them to have to go and do it in. You got to fight with Athens. You got to fight with Nelsonville, York. And that's a program that obviously needs some serious retouch and rebuilding. I'm glad to hear Corey Bean's doing some good things with that Spartans program. And hopefully they can be competitive and make a splash in the TVC Ohio.
Yeah, we'll see how Wellston does as well with Chris Graham. Obviously, the Buckeyes with Rusty Richards. The Bulldogs with Nathan White. What a classic that game was last year in week number 10. Just a phenomenal matchup. And I expect that game to have just as much importance this year. Of course, big one coming up tomorrow in the TVC. It's a TVC cross clash, but they don't like each other very much.
No.
The battle over the hill between Nelsonville, York, and Trimble. That'll be tomorrow over on, you might be listening on this station right now, Pure Rock 105. We'll have that one for you. Tad Steinberg, Daniel Barnard will be on the call for that matchup. Always the best way to start the season out with a classic bad blood rivalry. We'll step aside one more time here when we come back. I've got some fun stuff to talk about. We're going to preview this game a little bit, and then we're going to do some season predictions. We'll do some bold predictions.
Wow.
We'll do some fun stuff here. Since this is where we usually start picking our games, we're not picking games today. We're waiting for that till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some bold predictions.
Let's do
Why
it.
not? We have some fun here on Football Friday Kickoff. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't turn that dial anywhere. You're listening or watching to Football Friday Kickoff.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than just opening an account. It's opening the door to what's next. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dan Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioschools.com to donate today.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something.
Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. It's August 21st. We haven't even started the season yet officially, but it's always bold prediction season.
We love it.
I will turn it over to you first. Give me a bold prediction for the 2025 high school football season in Southeast Ohio.
Okay, well, I don't know how bold of a prediction it is, but we mentioned this team right before the broadcasting. I've been keeping an eye on this team, not for X's and O's, all throughout Southeastern Ohio all season. Fed Hawks going to get through an entire football season. They're going to play 10 games this year.
I love that. That's a great
Federal
prediction.
Hawking will play 10 football games, and we'll keep the picks in there in the meantime, but they're going to play 10 football games for the first time in 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, right? Last year, they were close. They probably could have done it. It wasn't really their fault that they didn't play 10 games last year. Some weather stuff, some other stuff happened. I've got a bold one, and this one, you want to talk about a boldness scale. This one's probably 9.5, 10 on the boldness scale. I think 2 Southeast Ohio teams make it to the state semifinals. I think it comes from Division 5, and I think it comes from Division 7. I think Region 27's champion and I think Region 19's champion are from Southeast Ohio. I'm going to go with either Wheelersburg or Ironton in Region 19, and I think Waterford is capable of winning Region 27.
Wow.
I'll put that out there. It's on tape now.
It's out there forever.
Tape, so I'll either look like a genius or an idiot, one or the other. But you know what? That's why we're here. That's what we do.
Anyone that held you to it, you watched, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, we got multiple witnesses, virtually and in person.
I love it.
Witnesses. So
I love it.
Let's talk a little bit about tonight's matchup. Unioto taking on Portsmouth. I was able to come out here just a couple of weeks ago and talk to Bruce Kalb and this Portsmouth squad about what's going to change in 2025.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dayton Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioschools.com to donate today.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dane Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioSouls.com to donate today.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than just opening an account. It's opening the door to what's next. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dane Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioSouls.com to donate today.
At Slarks Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine years of experience with the latest technology, delivering quality repairs every time. Seamless repairs and stress-free claims. Our friendly team of experts work directly with insurance companies, so you don't have to, getting you safely back on the road. Visit us at 965 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio, right at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93, and experience our commitment to excellence. The Slarks Automotive Family, here for you when you need us.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Hi, my name is Isaac Slark.
I'm Max Gentry.
And I'm Dane Neff.
Together, we founded Southern Ohio Souls, a nonprofit helping students in need.
We work in 28 school buildings to identify students in need of a new pair of shoes, then deliver shoes to those students to help them learn, play, and grow confidently.
Since our beginning in 2023, we've been able to donate nearly 400 pairs of brand name sneakers. Without support from our community, this simply wouldn't be possible.
Scan the QR code or visit www.southernohioSouls.com to donate today.
Last 4 or so minutes with you here on Football Friday Kickoff as we get ready for our opening matchup of the season on this Thursday night between the Unioto Sherman Tanks and the Portsmouth Trojans. You can feel the energy. The boys are out there. They're ready to go. The Portsmouth crowd is getting excited. The Portsmouth players are getting excited. Unioto going through the motions on the far side. I'm sure they are just as excited as well. But, Eric, it's not the only game going on tonight. We've got another one. In fact, another SVC team in action. It's Piketon taking on Northwest. That'll be on the Eagle, 100.1 WXZQ. Piketon does lose Luke Gullion, but Tyler Gullion ain't going nowhere. Their head football coach, and Piketon's going to look to try and continue to maintain the standard. Yeah, and I think they do tonight. I think that they're going to get it done over the Mohawks, a lot like they did last year. Maybe not in shogout fashion like it was a year ago, but I think Piketon starts off 1-0 tonight against the Mohawks. Yeah, they've got a big one there, and then, of course, we're right here. Let's preview this game a little bit. Talk a little bit about give me a key for each team. I think I have a couple I know in my mind for both of these teams, but what do you think the big keys to this matchup are? So for Portsmouth, I think it's as few mistakes as possible, get the offense going early in the run game early, try to get something going up front. For Unioto, junior now quarterback Isaac Coy threw for over 2,000 yards a year ago, is going to kind of take the lead in this offense. I think he's going to take a step up as a junior, make him comfortable. Portsmouth, if your defense can make him uncomfortable, you stand a shot. And the big thing, I think the big theme of this game is how both these teams are going to adjust after key losses. You look at the skill positions for Unioto. No more Blake Hoops. No more Caden Cutright. Those are two guys that hold a lot of records in that Unioto book of football records, which is a thick one. So they're going to need guys to step up. Who's going to take that mantle? Who is going to step into those shoes and replace not just those two as well? A couple other big skill positions need replaced for Unioto, and the same goes for Portsmouth. We talked about it earlier. JT Williams is no longer here. In steps Marquez Locklear. Yeah. Running back seemingly mostly by committee is what it kind of appears to be. You know, they're going to have a couple of other guys come into there. They're going to have Fernando Pojes, who we talked about earlier today. You know, talk about weight room freak, as Chuck said. And I was talking about Chuck with the growing pains. I think that's going to be a big thing for Portsmouth tonight. How quickly do some of these guys adjust to playing full-time high school football? Right. Yeah, and that's exactly why you don't worry about those things. You control what you control. Personnel, substitutions, get right guys on. Silly things. Control the things you can control, and you hope for the best from there with a new quarterback at the helm. All right, last thing before we cap things for the night. Who you got tonight? In this one, I know Portsmouth's treated us good, Ethan. They've been down here, and we've been down here since about 5 o'clock. Hey, Portsmouth fans, you've been wonderful, but Unioto is going to get it done tonight. Too much power on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this may come down to the final possession, but I think it's going to be because of some of the lack of experience on Unioto's side that I think Portsmouth's going to be able to make a defensive stand. Wow. I think the Trojans are going to get it done on home field tonight. A split on night one. Just how we like to do it. That kicks us off. High school football is back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be here all season long. We'll be back tomorrow on this very program, 5 o'clock. We'll be over at Waverly for their matchup against Miami Trace. Until then, so long. You can listen or hear this game over on Mix 99.3 FM WNXT, 100.9 Hank FM WXIC, and live on YouTube with Cool TV and Total Media Sports. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the matchup.
At Slark's Collision Center, we're more than a body shop. We're your neighbors, right here at the intersection of US 32 and State Route 93. We're proud to serve Jackson with honest work and hometown care. Locally owned and community trusted, our team of technicians combine